Black people in the diaspora who have had to function under slavery or colonial or oppressive systems are the only set of people who have been taught to disconnect from their ancestors. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that and give you why I think that is. So, I am Mademoiselle. I'm the author of this book, Decolonizing the Divine. This is where I help you understand the energetics behind spiritual ascension and how to get yourself to that higher plane without fear, judgment, oppression, all the stuff that we've been bogged down with um, over the millennia, centuries. Okay, so yeah, so it is not by coincidence that Black people have been taught to demonize or disconnect from their ancestors on a grand scale. I know some of us, the ones who are lucky enough to still understand this, and understand the importance of connecting with our ancestors. I know, like, you're already there, but in a grander scheme of things, let's dive into it, right? So, back in pre-colonial understanding of things, right, during ancient times, this was it was common. It was necessary. It was absolutely part of the culture to be spiritually connected to your ancestors. They are of your lineage that have crossed over into the spiritual realm, right? It was normal to have that relationship, right? And again, all cultures in some capacity have something somewhere where they are connected to their ancestors, most anyway, right? We see it in indigenous African cultures where they still are connected and haven't been so endued with colonial spiritual practices. We see it in India, and we see it in all these places that have this reverence and connection to the ancestral lineage. And there's a lot of power that comes with that. And we have been taught to demonize anything outside of what we have been fed. What they're doing is they're cutting you off from your spiritual protection, right? Or a factor of it, right? Because your ancestors, they are your bloodline, right? They understand you, they know your condition, and they know what's going on. These are your folks, right? And so when you are taught to just, oh, that's demonic, that's evil, that's this, that's that cuckoo stuff, right? What you're doing is you're disconnecting yourself from a very strong tool that could help you advance spiritually and get to where you need to be in this life. I started practicing ancestral veneration a while ago, a few years ago, and boy, my ancestors then showed up and showed out for me, right? Along with God, along with the elements such as water, um, along with my understanding of the planetary system, or somewhat understanding. I'm not a professional yet, but you have all these things available and accessible to you to help you advance spiritually, and you've been taught not to engage with them, right? I wonder why. Because that's how you actually liberate yourself. That's how you actually free yourself. So, in my book, I talk a little bit about how religious and spiritual practices, right? They give you the theory, they give you the theoretical concepts, right? To help you understand working with, energies and things like that in a capacity, right? But a lot of it is just memorizing or just knowing in scriptures and things like that. You're not ascending with doing that alone. Ascending requires you understanding energetics. Ascending requires you understanding the energy that you carry and what you have access to on a spiritual level. And a lot of the things that we were brought up with tradition, well, not traditional, colonial understandings, or those big religions, right? Um, we have been taught that it's that way or no way, right? It's that way or the highway. It's that way or it's evil. And that's so far from the truth, right? God gave you all these things. God gave you all these tools to use. When you cut those things off, you're limiting yourself so much, right? You are an infinite, intelligent, expansive being, right? Once you understand it and once you are aware of it and once you start moving and operating like that, that's what you gravitate towards you. And when you only understand God from a book or a building, you have no clue what you have access to on a more massive scale, right? You have no clue, and it's on purpose and it's by design to keep you complacent and keep you functioning and keep things going a certain and particular way. We did not operate like this during ancient times, during pre colonial times, during pre patriarchal times. We were not functioning like this. We were in a more natural flow and more natural balance of things. And now, like, we don't understand how off balance we are, and yet we wonder why, like, stuff is so in disarray. But things are slowly starting to get back in balance, right? And again, because a lot of people don't understand that this is how we was functioning back before then. We scared. Oh, this and all that. Like, no, baby, we stuff is getting restructured, it's getting rerouted, it's getting rearranged. That's all that's happening. But of course, like a spiritual awakening, it's gonna look chaotic and it's gonna look disorienting. It's gonna feel like that at the same time. But we're in a transitionary period, and that's what we gotta deal with during that transitionary stage. So I did a post recently where I talked about Moana too, and in again, like in Polynesian culture, it's this big, strong connection with the ancestors, right? That stuff is real. It's real. Your ancestors are there and they are waiting to connect with you and communicate with you, right? So in that movie, her ancestors came. They came and gave her guidance. They came and gave her assistance. They showed up for her when she needed it. She had the water. Of course, if you watch Moana 1 or Moana 2, like, like the water is a big part of that. That stuff is real, right? Disney ain't just pulling that stuff out of their hoo-ha. A lot of those movies, they're telling you this stuff, it actually exists, right? These spiritual concepts, right? And you think it's just, oh, it's just for entertainment. Like, this stuff, they have actual real elements to it, that would be able to give you a much uh, visual understanding of what that look and feels like when you are connected to the spiritual world, and you're not so fixated on what these folks told you to fixate your energy on. To be fixated on working a job you hate, to be fixated in being in relationships because you just think you're supposed to do it, to be fixated on being in environments you don't care to be in. We were not functioning like this once upon a time. And so when you have that awareness and you have the understanding, okay, and you know what you have access to as a spiritual being, especially if you are a woman and especially if you are a black woman, if you understand that you carry this infinite, intelligent, divine, ancient energy, you would not be worried about any of this stuff. I'm trying to tell you, okay? I'm just telling you what I know. So, yes, we have been taught to disconnect from our ancestors on purpose and from any of our spiritual practices because they hold power. They hold power and they hold energy. They hold advancement. They hold all these things they told you was gonna get in the afterlife. The afterlife or the spiritual world has it for you, but you have to put the energy into getting it. It technically is in the spiritual or the afterlife, but you bring it, you can have it here on earth. They got theirs here on earth. Why you can't have yours here on earth, right? I'm telling you. So, my advice to you is you start to understand that you have, these things available to you to help you move your life in the direction that you want. Some of you, and again, whatever pathway you take is your pathway, right? So that might be religion, that might be your ancestors, that might be God. All these things are working in tandem and they're working together to get you in one place to another. You just have to open yourself up, you have to open up your energy, and you have to welcome that in, and you have to call it in. And so once you start to do that, things may start to happen. things may start moving and you might start feeling like you're in a little disarray, but your path is just being cleared. That's it and that's all. And so you have access to so much more. Your ancestors know so much. They got so much that they can give and share with you that you're missing out on if you don't connect. So I hope this helps. I hope you start tapping in and you start connecting with your folks. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing once you start doing it and you understand what's going on, because a lot of us again operate in fear because we're taught to. So do away with the fear. It's not helping you achieve anything. Okay, do away with the fear. Start tapping in and just again make yourself available to all these resources that can come and help you move forward on a spiritual level. Right, they're doing things up there that you may not be able to see or you can't fully put your hands and grasp on yet, but everything is working to your benefit and to your favor when you uh, make your subconscious understand that, right? So you have to believe it and you have to know it to be true in order for it to come true. Okay, so again, welcome. Thank you for subscribing and make sure you like and share and do all those things and comment below and let me know, have you started connecting with your ancestors? What they've been saying or what has it looked like, or do you have questions? Do you have questions about this? Let me know. All right. So, again, Decolonizing the Divine is available for you if you want to understand this on a more energetic level. I also have webinars that I host. Um, one, I focus primarily on Black women. I help you understand your ancient divine energy that you carry and what to do with it. Okay, so let's move this. This is the time frame we're in, y'all. Let's get with it. Let's get with the program. We're moving right along. All right, so thank you for watching. Again, do all the things, and I'll see you next time. Bye.